So we got our second match of the day coming. We got Stephen Mitchell versus Matt Elkins. So in the first match, again, we had Robert Gladden versus Mike Johnson. Both guys were coming in with 0 points. Robert comes away with the north-south choke. He's on the board with 7 points. Stephen Mitchell and Matt Elkins are two guys. Stephen coming in off a bye week last week, and Matt Elkins definitely doesn't have as many points as he wants. I mean, I know Matt Elkins is expecting to finish at least in the top 8. Easily, he expects to finish in the top 8, and he really needs a choke over Stephen to start off his campaign to really climb back up the rankings. So Moises is a purple belt from Cobra Jiu Jitsu. So here we go. Matt Elkins definitely has a size advantage. I mean, Stephen's one of our older competitors. Stephen is 38 years old, weighs about 150 pounds, and Matt Elkins has been cutting a couple of pounds to make 195. So definitely a big size advantage. You can see that right here. And Stephen knows he's going to sit guard. Stephen definitely realizes that he needs to win the inside space and he needs to try and find a leg lock. That's going to be his best bet against Matt Elkins. So you see immediately sits to guard. We're seeing a Z shield. Got a Z guard trying to get a trip right there. Elkins does a great job. Already in on the front headlock, and he's got a great front head. He's got a great front head game. I like what he did right there, though. He didn't try and force the guillotine. He used it to make Stephen react. He followed it. Stephen didn't want to get his back taken. He goes flat to his back, and Matt gets a really deep mount position because of the threat of the guillotine. Matt's already up, though, in this high mount position. Stephen does a great job of getting that frame across Matt's hip right here. But he needs, you see that elbow is starting to come a little bit too close. He needs to open that elbow so it's coming across. Yeah, he wants that elbow across both hip lines, so both hip points, I should say. But he's in. Matt Elkins is in on a deep head and arm, and I think he's going to finish this. He's got one arm. Matt needs to flatten out just a little bit more. What I would tell him is he needs to turn that left shoulder to the ground. If he could take his left shoulder to the ground, he'd get that finish right there. But I think he's just going to squeeze this one out. Stephen, though, calmly breathing. Stephen does a really good job of staying calm in these moments. Matt coming back to mount. Excellent switch to the triangle. Beautiful jiu-jitsu right there. I love the head and arm to the triangle choke. Beautiful setup and beautiful counter to Stephen's counter. You saw Stephen had that phone defense. He was answering the phone. Matt could feel like he just couldn't quite get the position he wanted and the squeeze he wanted for the finish. Goes to mount. I thought he was going to readjust, but man, he popped that triangle and the finish happened almost immediately.